After 8 long years, Kung Fu Panda 4 has finally arrived. Now, I will admit, I was really hyped for this movie. I mean, it was my third most hyped movie of the year, right behind Deadpool 3 and Sonic 3, of course. I mean, there was so much to get hyped about. The animation looked great, we got the OG villains returning. So yes, I was really hyped. So hyped, in fact, that I rewatched the first 3 movies in preparation for the 4th one. Now, before I get into my review, let me just recap y'all on what my thoughts on the first 3 movies are. Kung Fu Panda 1, 10 out of 10 masterpiece. This movie is so good, it's perfect, it perfectly set up the franchise. It is amazing and hilarious. Kung Fu Panda 4, another 10 out of 10 masterpiece, even better than the first one. Its themes and humor are just, so good. Third movie, a bit of a step down from the first 2. It's still good, obviously, but and it wasn't as good. But still good. That doesn't make sense, but I'm pretty sure y'all understand. Alright, enough stalling. It's time for my review of Kung Fu Panda 4. Now, there have been people calling this movie awful, mid, great. So what do I think? Well, I thought this movie was awesome. But it isn't perfect. Let me get into a few of the things I didn't really like. Number 1, it really lacked the compelling themes of the first 3 movies. Movie number 1, the secret ingredient is you. Movie 2, overcoming trauma and finding inner peace. Third movie, figuring out who you really are. Fourth movie, goofing around on an all-new Kung Fu Panda adventure. Okay, there is a theme of change in the movie, but it's not fleshed out. The first 3 movies had such compelling themes that really got you into the story. The 4th movie just doesn't. And then my other problem with the movie, the chameleon was not fleshed out, at all. They try to set up her backstory, but really? She's too small for Kung Fu? Have you seen Mantis or Viper? That's bullcrap if you ask me. They tried to give her a sad backstory, but it didn't work, okay? She does not have as much depth as the first 3 villains, because they were really good villains with really good backstories and reasons for what they were doing. Chameleon? She's just oh, I was too small, so I'm gonna steal chi now. But that's about all my only problems with the movie. So now let's talk about what I loved about the movie. First off, the animation was great. Now, I know people were complaining, saying it should have done something like Puss in Boots or Spider-Verse, but honestly, I don't really mind. But it is a bit annoying that they don't do anything with the colors, with the first 3 movies. There were distinct colors to those movies. Blue, red, and green. This one, light? They don't really go in any direction with the color, which, yeah, it's annoying. Maybe another one of my problems, but whatever. I mean, the animation still looks really good. Next up, the characters. I really enjoyed the characters. Even Zen. I know a lot of people who either really hated her or just thought she was okay because she was voiced by Awkwafina. Yes, it's annoying Awkwafina is literally everything now, but she was fine here. She didn't get on my nerves. She fit the character. And Poe was still great, and I did enjoy all the new characters. The action in the movie was also really good. Some people are calling the action really good. Some people are calling it mid. I thought it was really good. What are y'all talking about? The best fights in the movie were definitely the bar fight scene and Poe versus the chameleon. Next up, the humor. The movie was actually pretty funny. Yes, it did have a fart joke, but it only lasted a second. I can handle it. And then the story of the movie, I did enjoy, but it wasn't fleshed out, which is what I talked about earlier. Poe having to move on to the spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace, and having to find a successor, and the chameleon who can summon all villains. That is so good, but they didn't flesh out the themes enough for it to be, great. If they fleshed out the themes, this movie probably would have been the 3rd best of the trilogy. So yeah, it has a good story, but not a great story, unlike the first 3. Alright, now we're going to be talking about the OG villains returning, so we're stepping into spoiler territory. So if you have not seen the movie yet, skip to this part of the video to avoid spoilers. Alright, so Tai Lung. It was awesome to see him back in this movie. His character seemed a little bit nicer in this movie than in the first movie, I guess because he found peace in the spirit realm. And then Chen is back, which he barely does anything in the movie, so I can't really comment on that. And then Kai returns, which, hold up, he, exploded in the 3rd movie? How is he back? Because this is still the spirit realm. Did he just regenerate? And what's stopping him from gathering chi again? Did he just decide not to anymore? Huh? And going back to Tai Lung really quick, we learned in a Q&A about the movie that originally Shifu and Tai Lung were gonna say goodbye to each other and see each other one last time. Why didn't they do this? Oh yeah, because the stinky director decided that would be too emotional and they wanted it to be more comedic. Have you not watched the first 3 movies? Fire this guy and get the woman who wanted to have that scene in. Seriously. Alright, there. Spoilers are finished. So, is Kung Fu Panda 4 perfect? No. Not even close to the first 2 movies. But is it bad? No, it was really good. Despite how much I love the movie, it is still the weakest of all the movies. But overall, I give it a 9 out of 10. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see y'all in the next one.